Giant monstrous humanoids known as the Titans unexpectedly emerged on the world more than a century ago. Any human they could get their hands on served as food for them. As soon as humans lost their position at the top of the food chain, their population began to decline. The Titans were still unconquered by mankind, despite the destruction of several civilizations. Instead, the remaining humans constructed enormous circular walls that were taller than the Titans. For double protection, 2 circular walls were built, one inside the other. People continue to live in terror of the Titans even after 100 years. Eren Yeager, a young guy who resides in the outlying area. He longs to one day leave the confines of his home and travel the globe. To his companions Armin and Mikasa, he constantly brags about the seas and oceans of the outside world. They make the decision to travel to the border one day and attempt to scale the wall so they can leap to the other side. The gang is astounded at the scale of the wall when they get closer to the border. The Titans might still be outside, according to Armin and Mikasa, who are doubtful of the theory. Eren thinks that because no one has seen them in a century and without people to feed on, they have most likely perished. When the border guard arrives to detain the group for being too near to the wall, their talk is interrupted. Eren becomes enraged as the police attempt to arrest his pals and begins to fight them, entirely disregarding the possibility that he may be put to death for the crime. When Captain Suda sees them, he orders the men to withdraw. He makes a personal commitment to get revenge on the gang. Eren's longing for independence is understood by Suda, but she finds his behavior to be juvenile. He then tells the gathering about a military strategy for venturing outside the fortifications. Eren won't have to risk his life, he says, because the government has dispatched some military to check the situation outside. Everyone is startled as a loud explosion occurs suddenly. It is followed by an earthquake, which causes the ground to tremble. The wall shifts violently and the gang retreats. A huge Titan is visible. He screeches loudly and starts kicking the wall. The patrol policemen stand by in horror, helpless to stop the beast. The Titan ultimately pierces the barrier and vanishes in a cloud of smoke. There is a brief period of silence. The populace then witnesses several such monsters invade the city. With cannonballs that hardly hurt the monsters, the troops engage them in combat. They appear to possess strong regenerative abilities because the cannon's injuries heal quite quickly. The troops are soon surrounded by the Titans, who begin to eat them one by one. As the Titans destroy homes and seize as many people as they can, everyone begins to flee for their lives. Eren and Mikasa hurry in the direction of the local church where people are going to hide while Armin gets lost in the mob. Mikasa spots a small child lying on the ground in danger of being trampled by the oncoming mob. She departs to protect the infant, but loses Eren in the process. Eren is dragged inside the church, the doors are shut, preventing anybody else from entering. Eren observes his closest buddy being approached by a female Titan with fearsome teeth from the window of the church. Mikasa lowers her head and admits that there is nothing that can be done to change her current situation. A sudden loud explosion knocks everyone backward within the church. Eren glances outside once again, but neither Mikasa nor the Titan are to be found. He rushes forth in search of Mikasa but finds only the wreckage of the city he once called home. Eren turns around to witness the creatures destroying the chapel and consuming everyone within. He aimlessly walks across the ruined city. 2 years later, the whole Titan attack survivorship has relocated to the inner district. Currently, the military is preparing to retake the outlying district. Following the influx of refugees into the inner district and the loss of the outer district's productive agriculture, a lack of food led to an increase in fatalities. Everyone will ultimately perish from malnutrition if this keeps up. The only way to ensure their life is to seize control of the surrounding area and fix the damaged wall. Kubal is the title of the military's commander. He addresses the soldiers with a moving speech before inviting Hans onto the platform. She is the commander of the troop's weapon. Hans shows her a brand new piece of omnidirectional mobility equipment that she says will help them battle the Titans. However, she unintentionally attacks her own people. Eren and Armin appear among the soldiers. It turns out that they both made it through the assault 2 years ago and have since enlisted in the military. Eren intends to exact revenge on the Titans for murdering Mikasa. Even though Captain Suda escaped the attack, he is no longer motivated to live. He is currently an alcoholic and a food distributor in the army. In the evening when the Titans will be asleep, the troops intend to raid the outlying district. They want to block off the entrance the Titan used to enter the city so that no other Titans can come. They can then eliminate the survivors to retake their district. Hans requests that everyone go quietly and gently, as the creatures are sensitive to noise. The captain suddenly commands them to stop the cars as they go after noticing a forward movement. When the troops finally turn to investigate, they discover cows grazing around the city. Iana hears a baby screaming and chooses to look into it, risking her life. Eren pursues the girl, and they both find themselves inside a demolished structure. As they move deeper, the wail becomes more audible. Suddenly, Iana is covered in a slimy substance. The two gaze up in horror as they witness a huge infant Titan devouring a person. The infant squats down in front of the two and begins to sob. They flee outdoors in terror. The noise causes the troops to begin to worry, but the commander commands them to remain silent in order to avoid attracting any Titans. Unexpectedly, a large hand reaches out and snatches the captain. The troops are in grave danger now that the Titans have awakened. A huge creature chases after Eren and Iana as they move in the direction of the group. They begin to return to their cars, but Commander Kubal recognizes the threat and takes off with the car and the guns. Hans calls out to the gang to gather at a nearby deserted building. Before the troops can flee, the Titans encircle them as they dash towards the building. When Shikishima, a Titan killer and captain of the scout regiment, suddenly emerges, he kills the Titans mid-air by striking the vulnerable area behind their necks with a swinging instrument. A female companion who is equally skillful as Shikishima exists. When Eren eventually catches a sight of Shikishima's buddy, Mikasa, Eren is completely taken aback. However, Mikasa ignores her old buddy and turns to face Shikishima while grinning at her. The troops then pursue the two as they make their way to the building. It appears that Shikishima has been sent to assist Commander Kubal with the operation. Mikasa's life was saved by Shikishima that day, and she also showed her how to combat the Titans. Since that time, they have been co-workers and residents of the Titans' realm. Mikasa no longer wants to interact with individuals from her previous life since she has learnt the harsh realities of life. Later, one of the soldiers accuses Eren of luring the Titans in the first place and endangering everyone's lives. The two start fighting, but Mikasa breaks them up quickly. Eren's name is sought for, and Shikishima demonstrates his supremacy by inviting Eren to speak with him privately. Eren claims that the monsters are to fault for capturing the Titans and informs Shikishima that he wants to learn how to slay them. Shikishima mocks him, saying that it was people, not the Titans, who had locked themselves within. They are where they are because they were too afraid to stand up to the opposition and fight. By labeling Eren a coward, he antagonizes him. Shikishima challenges Eren to overcome his phobias and battle the Titans for his freedom. When Eren goes in search of Mikasa, he discovers her playing a broken piano. He makes an attempt to get back together with her, but Mikasa doesn't seem to notice. She claims that once the infant she was caring for passed away, she changed into a new person. The Titan attack had left Mikasa with a bite mark on her body, which she later shows. Shikishima interrupts them by giving Mikasa an apple with his hand while expressing his love for her. Eren yells in pain as he runs outdoors after being brokenhearted. She is not the same lady he once loved for whom he desired to get revenge from the Titans. Iana suddenly approaches Eren and consoles him. The two enter the building again and begin conversing as a couple makes out next to them. When Iana tells Eren that her daughter is back in the inner city, she becomes distraught. She then pushes herself on Eren and attempts to seduce him. However, they are stopped when a huge eye peered through a window at them. They don't have much time to contemplate when he abruptly pulls Iana with his lips. Eren observes as the monster consumes his companion. Numerous additional Titans approach the structure. Armed with their weapons, Shikishima, Mikasa, and other troops engage the Titans. Commander Kubal requests that everyone take precautions to preserve the explosives since they are the sole resource that will allow them to permanently defeat the Titans. The couple that was having an intimate moment is attacked, and the male perishes in the conflict. The lady, who is crushed by the loss of her beloved, swears to get revenge on the killer. We witness a person loading the bomb into a car and leaving. After losing her partner, the lady decides to make a sacrifice by jumping into the car and detonating the bombs. She takes the wheel and heads in the direction of the Titan who murdered her boyfriend. The explosion blows up the Titan's legs as she collides with him. The Titan's legs immediately regrow, thus the strike is ineffective. The only way to end them is to hit them where it hurts. Eren is still at the top of the structure and hasn't yet assisted others in overcoming the Titans. He employs the springs to assault them after recalling Shikishima's prior remarks. He initially stumbles, but with a little help from Shikishima, he succeeds in making his first kill. Eren escapes the Titan by leaping onto the rooftop, but the Titan manages to bite off one of his legs. As Armin is attempting to flee, a Titan suddenly grabs hold of him. As the Titan prepares to devour him, the others attempt to save him. Even though Eren is in agony, he continues to assist his friend. In order to hold the monster's mouth open, he drags himself to the edge of the structure. Armin is spared just before he would have fallen into the monster's throat. Eren falls inside the Titan's belly in the process. He is interred there amid a number of dead people, among them Iana. Mikasa and the others are on a rooftop at this time, and Armin informs Mikasa about Eren's passing. Mikasa is obviously upset over the news and is unable to conceal her feelings. She rushes herself towards the Titans in a fit of rage, killing every single one of them. She eventually runs out of fuel, causing her to crash to the ground. The Titan that previously devoured Eren comes up to Mikasa and is prepared to murder her. But then, a hand appears. His body will soon explode, exposing another Titan to the world. The freshly created Titan engages in combat with his own species and eliminates them one by one. The remaining troops marvel when they learn Eren is the genuine new Titan. The Titan moves aggressively toward the building after murdering everyone. Eren is killing everyone in his path and appears to have forgotten who he is. With the exception of Mikasa, who yells Eren's name, he doesn't stop, and he seizes her. He progressively regains his memories and starts to recognize Mikasa as he continues to stare at her. Like the other Titans, he collapses to the ground dead and begins to vanish. The beast is sliced apart by Mikasa, revealing the human Eren within. He's grown his leg back, much to everyone's amazement, with the aid of the creature's regenerative abilities. Eren gradually regains consciousness as the final Titan dissipates,